Hi, my name is Jesse Durham, and today's subject is going to be infinite banking for business owners. I've really been looking forward to diving deeper on this particular subject. It will take more than one video, more than one pass by business for us to see just how infinite banking can impact what it is that we're already doing. So I would actually like to start by asking some questions. I've done business myself, but we all do it in different ways, in different areas, industries, etc. So I want you to start by thinking about, why did you start your own business? Did you start by picking something or feeling like something was just your purpose in doing? Is there something that you just so thoroughly enjoyed or were so passionate about it that you knew you would do business in that area? Was it practical as far as you wanted to make more money, you wanted to have more control over your schedule, how you built out your lifestyle? Was it because that you had a burning desire to bring a particular thing to life? You know, there are many different kinds of business. A lot of business is, of course, creating something. A lot of business is providing a service. So was there a service, or was there something that you wanted to create, to bring to market, to bring to other people that compelled you to start your own business? What was it? A family business? I want you to think about that, because whatever your goals are, whatever your ambitions are, whatever direction you are pursuing, infinite banking is merely a process. Somebody is controlling the banking function in our lives, also in our businesses. Therefore, I want us to consider starting with whatever our purpose or drive or desire is within business, and then start looking at the banking function, how we could practice becoming your own banker, as described in R. Nelson Nash's book, Becoming Your Own Banker, and use the infinite banking concept to further what it is that we're already doing. So I think those are some great things to just pause quickly and ask ourselves about our business. Now, Nelson in his book said that every business owner should be in two businesses. One, of course, is going to be your traditional, conventional business, whatever it is that you occupy yourself with professionally. And then the second business is going to be the financing of that business. Because again, somebody is owning and controlling and benefiting from the banking function in your personal life, but also specifically in your business as well. You should be, or at least you can be, I'm here to promote the idea that you can be your own banker for your business also. So we're going to dive in on several subjects here to consider some things, to show some things, to expand upon some things, and I hope that it'll be helpful. Now consider this. Money is earned two ways. One way to earn money, and it's a great and a beautiful thing, is that in the creation of a business, someone is being employed. Now it may be a one-person business or a one-family business where one person is both everything from the CEO down to the field worker. Or it could be a small business, or it could be a multi-generational family business. That's a beautiful concept. Or it could be a big business. So many different kinds of business. And in those businesses, people at work is one way that money is earned. And it's a great and a beautiful thing for someone to create and do business and offer service and value and product, whatever the case may be, and employ others to help them do that. That's one way to make money. A second way to earn is using money. There's been a saying about, you can work for your money, or you can get your money to work for you. So the second way to be able to earn income is by using money. You can actually, I like this analogy of considering every dollar that crosses your hand in your personal life, or you could say comes into the business, for you business owners out there, every dollar that comes into the business should be viewed and considered as an employee. because it will come in and it will go out. It will perform things for the business. And of course, we all want the best performance possible. Things like loyalty matter to us. Things like productivity, timeliness. I mean, so many different things matter to us as business owners. So if we will view our dollars as another way for us to earn, I know we work, we exchange time and skill and effort for dollars, for an income, but also we can use our dollars to create more dollars. We can put our dollars to work, not let them be lazy, and that can also create more income for our business. We'll expand on that more, but those are the two ways that money is earned. Now I want us to be able to consider some questions that we should ask ourselves as we get into the mechanics of considering the infinite banking concept with the full spectrum of things to consider as business owners, things that cross our desk in our mind, things that may keep us up late at night, things that concern us, preoccupy us, things that can make or break a business. And there's a lot to discuss there, so let's start asking some questions. There's a lot here. Let's get started. Let's start asking questions like, how much did you keep in your business from last year? From the gross amount that was earned in your business, no matter how big or small, how much of that did you keep into this year? How much last year did you spend or pay in taxes? How much in your business last year did you spend or pay in overhead for your business? And just start thinking about everything that it takes, from the lights to anything else that comes to mind, to run your business. How much was spent in overhead for your business? Some other great questions to ask: how much did you pay in interest on anything that you already have, commercially, conventionally financed? How are you brave enough to see how much you may have paid in interest only, dollars that will forever left you? How much did you pay in interest to other people last year? Now start asking. These are some practical questions that we have to ask. In the event of an early graduation, in the event of an unexpected death, is your family protected? Because see, in looking at the infinite banking concept, there are two big pieces in considering that a policy provides us with a death benefit, very practical, necessary, great. It's a wonderful increase to anybody's net worth to have a death benefit that is contractually, unilaterally contracted to your beneficiaries. And then also, of course, the access to the cash values that we can use today. So those are the two parts. So the death benefit's not to be overlooked. It's what makes everything possible, paying premiums for a policy that provides a death benefit. To mitigate risk, to offset risks, because many of us may be the sole providers for our family, or a great provider for our family, of course. So that is something to consider. It's not the only thing, but it can't be overlooked either. But then also, let's take that a step further. As business owners who employ others, do we have key people? And when I say business, that could be a nonprofit, that could be a church, that could be a traditional business. Are there key people in our business, in our organization, that we really should have protected? Both to assist us in a transition that may end up taking place. Also, it's a great way to think ahead for those people that we've built relationships with that are helping us further our goals and whatever our business happens to be. I mean, if you have access to the death benefit, sure, that can make things smoother in that tragic event of an early graduation and an early death for your business. But also, you could be a great blessing in that instance to a family that may have helped you greatly along your way to success and in building your business. So just food for thought right there. But are there key people that we would recognize a great lag, a great depression within our business, within our production or service, whatever it is that we're doing, if we had to invest the time to, bring somebody else up to speed to fill that role. You know better than I do what that may look like for you, but it's simply something to consider for sure. Now let's talk about access to capital as well. This is another great question to ask when, as a business owner, and it doesn't matter what it is that you're doing and what area. Again, you have a better idea of that than I do. But the question that we should ask ourselves is, if it's heating and cooling, if it's construction, just whatever it happens to be, do we have a system in place where we amass capital? That way, in the event of an opportunity in our industry, let's say an opportunity comes for you to be able to buy out a competitor. That's a great opportunity, and it happens. That's a great opportunity to have, but for sure you don't want that to come up and there you are potentially looking at taking out third-party loans, paying interest to somebody else, taking on another business, which could be great for expanding your footprint, but not so much if it hurts you, if it puts you in a bind financially as the business that you already are to do that. Much better scenario if we have already systematically amassed capital that we have immediate access to in the event of an opportunity that arises like that. You can also look at the negative side. What about if there is an economic downturn? What about if there is a vast change in your industry? I've been very interested in the travel industry for some years now, and in 2020 we saw a great downturn in the travel industry, and many other industries have been impacted as well, restaurants, etc. Let's talk about government shutdowns. What if the government decides that you're no longer able to open your business? Regardless of what your thoughts and views are on that, I'm simply asking you to consider, is it beneficial for you to have systematically acquired and amassed and warehouse wealth that grows, compounding uninterrupted, but also gives you access to it to use? That both those things are happening at the same time. It's just good to have options. And you're the owner and you have that control, you have that access. So what about economic downturns, government shutdowns? What about recessions, depressions? Just there are many different things over history that have shown us that having that kind of an access, not being beholden to anybody else, is going to put us in a very favorable position. Now, in the present day, for those that are in the thick of it, those that are nose to the grindstone in building your business, let's raise our heads for a moment and consider, do we recognize our need for finance in our business? Start considering what is in your business's financial footprint that is commercially financed elsewhere, where somebody else has the ownership and the access and the control, where somebody else is receiving the interest that you are paying regularly and on time, and it's never to return to you. So do you recognize the need for finance that you currently have and that you will always have? Everything is financed. Either we are paying interest to someone else for the cars, the equipment, whatever it is that it takes to run your business for those things, or we are forfeiting the opportunity to earn interest on those funds, on that capital, because we're not the owner and we're not the one with the access and the control. Whereas in the infinite banking world, where we're becoming our own bankers, we can add piece at a time, we can build piece at a time until our entire financial footprint for our business is financed where we own, where we access, and where we control. So there is a present and there will always be a future need for finance and whatever it takes to run your business, the service that you're offering, the products that you are giving, the value that you're bringing to people in the marketplace. It is finance. Somebody controls the banking function. Is it you? Now, long range, let's ask ourselves, okay, For some, the idea, the goal, and I don't care either way, whatever you want, but if the goal is to build a business for a particular time and then to either hand that down to another generation or to sell it off, whatever that may look like for you, looking ahead, long range, and asking, will there be a time when you will want passive income? I'm not saying retire. I love Nash's view on retirement. I as well I've removed it. That's not always been the case, but I used to be a state teacher with the 401k and the state retirement, and that was the the gold watch, the playing golf, and doing nothing. Well, that'll be a different video. But if there's going to be a time where you don't want to have to work as much, or you would rather build a funnel of leadership where others continue your work, but you don't have to be there present to physically lay hands on whatever has to be done at that time, but you would rather perhaps be in a position where you receive a passive income from your business. Well, constructing a system of policies that covers the need for finance that you need now, but then that can also in its turn provide a passive income in the future is something very practical to consider. Your need for passive income in the future. Now, I've tried to ask some thought-provoking questions when considering how the infinite banking concept can be used for business owners. And if in this video or at any time you've come to the conclusion, well, I love the idea, it sounds great, I want those things, but I just don't have the extra money to be able to do that. My question to you is, if you're an honest person and you're conducting your business in an honest way, if you provide value, and I will assume that you are good at what you do and you're diligent at it, very hardworking at it. If that is the case, why do you not? Why do you not? It's not rhetorical. I really do want you to think about that, because if you don't have cash flow, if you don't have income and expense, profit and loss, if you don't have the movement of money, if you're not having business take place, then you're not in business. But what I would remind us all is that money does come and money does go. What matters is who controls that, who benefits from it, who has the access to it, and how much of that can we keep. Remember, the 3 rules of banking are pay yourself first. Just like to start a business, you have to capitalize a business. You start with something, whether that's product or tools or a space. You start with something. There is an investment of time and energy and effort and money, perhaps, whatever that may look like in starting a business. You know what that looked like for you. You capitalized in the expectation of a return. Now, banking is not an investment. However, let me remind us of some of these rules here. You do pay yourself first, okay? And again, we need to consider that a policy is like a business. It's not a business, but we need to think of it like a business. We pay ourselves first. We pay ourselves with interest. That's the second rule of banking, because we would pay interest. We do. If you already have something and you do, commercially financed, or if you've paid cash, you forfeited the interest that you could have earned for your business. If we would pay a third party interest, we should pay ourselves. We should value ourselves at least that much, if not more. Pay ourselves with interest, but then also recapture the money. See, we should be recapturing both privately and, of course, as we're saying in this video, in our business, we should be recapturing principal, interest, and with a properly constructed policy that we own and access and control, that's with a mutual company, that whole life policy should be paying dividends. So we have dividends as well. So those are the 3 rules of banking. And what we need to do is remember, when building a system of policies, that we are to pay ourselves first, pay ourselves with interest, and recapture the money. Get it back into our business, so that we can grow and expand and develop and become more stable and weather more storms and grow and expand and develop and on. and just build that until everything can be 100% financed through our own business. And Nash said it many times that if you are in a particular business, whatever, plumbing, whatever that business may be, and you control the banking function in your business, you will beat out your competitors. It's not even close. And then I'll wrap up by reminding us the 5 principles that Nash shared in his work. Remember this, when watch and rewatch this video, read and reread Nelson Nash's book, Becoming Your Own Banker, because he challenged us to start thinking long range. People just don't think. I didn't. I did. If you'd have had a conversation with me 7-10 years ago, we need to start thinking long range. We have to rethink our thinking. I know you're an expert in whatever it is that you do. I know you have experience in your field and whatever it is that you're doing. But in controlling the banking function and building up and amassing capital that we can access, own, and control to further what it is we're doing, it will take rethinking our thinking. The third thing is going to be, don't be afraid to capitalize your system. It takes time. Nash said when talking about, the average person, that it may take 14 years for them to completely cover their entire financial footprint within their own infinite banking system. I don't know how long it'll take your business, shorter, longer, whatever that case may be. But we do recognize our need for finance now. And somebody is controlling that access and that ownership. So we can't be afraid to capitalize our system. Don't do business with banks. We don't own that. We don't control that. We don't benefit from that. If your name's not on the board, I'm simply promoting the idea that you can become your own banker. Don't do business with banks. Then the 5th thing is going to be an honest banker. Don't steal the peas. If you don't know that reference, you need to get back into the book. So those are 5 principles from Nash to consider as business owners in considering, vetting, or expanding whatever it is that we're already doing in the infinite banking world for ourselves. And remembering the 3 rules of banking. I hope that this has been helpful. I am certain that we will be covering more specific nuts and bolts issues for business owners on growing and developing your system. I want to be able to answer what's relevant to you as far as questions. If you want to email, you can email durhamtalents@gmail.com to reach me. On phone, it's 828-817-4223. Call or text there. I look forward to fielding your questions. I look forward to taking a look at whatever your industry, your niche, your profession is, your business is, so that we can see how you can become your own banker. So for suggestions, feel free to reach out to me to see how you could vet this idea more. Of course, I would encourage you to read the book, check out more videos on this channel. If you have any suggestions or thoughts, reach me personally or comment here on the video. And I look forward to our next conversation. Have a great day. Thank you. Take care.